tour, and it's illegal as hell. They said once you extract it and then selling it to a juvenile, the guy was looking at like 10 years or something. But he was like, I don't care if it can help this kid. I want to give it a try. Well, he did it, brought it to her. He went from 12 seizures a day to one a month. One a month.
I think I seen that.
And they still will not leave. I just still won't. The doctors won't even consider doing it because it's coming from weed.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
12 a day to one a month, and you're not.
Well, let's just. You don't even got to talk about the medical benefits of it. You just talk about the everyday, day-to-day usage of hemp, and you're talking. It's ridiculous. You can do everything with hemp.
Yeah.
Clothes, paper, rope. They got all kinds of oils. Nutritionally, hemp seeds are fantastic. It's ridiculous. In the Revolutionary War, you were the government made you. If you had a farm, you were growing hemp for uniforms. And,
yeah.
It's a part of the founding of the tobacco, hemp. Then later, cotton got into it a little bit.
Alcohol.
Alcohol. Alcohol all around the world. I mean, that ain't an American thing. But yeah, you're right. That was the first tax we ever had was the whiskey tax.
Right.
Yeah.
Whiskey Rebellion. They went down in the hills and they was like, oh, no, that's all right. We don't want to pay taxes.
This country did great from the whiskey tax and the tobacco tax. It's
funded a war. Funded a war, yeah. Believe that.
All right. Well, it went past a minute 40 now, so
all right.
We're gonna keep it going here. If not, I'm gonna record this and we'll just put it to YouTube later and on Ustream on our Facebook.
Blue Wall
podcast. Yes, and you can also follow us on Twitter at Blue Wall Podcast. At Blue Wall Podcast.
What's the name of your business?
Reliable Exterior Home Improvements.
Home improving your home. So you were talking about this A-frame or the underground house from where was it?
Aurora.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Is that up north?
Yeah, up north near Cleveland.
And hey, let's throw the number out there since we're basically starting over on Blue Wall.
Right, Blue Wall Podcast.
740-596-0256.
Awesome. Get a hold of him. And the name says it all. Reliable exterior home improvements.
That's right. And
that's what I do.
NC-17 right here since we're starting over, apparently.
I think it's rated R, bro. I think you got to be 18 to get into this one.
Okay, yeah, 18.
What's the higher rating?
I put NC-17 on the Facebook, but
I don't want anybody in high school listening to this.
Yeah, right. And if you are, go to bed. It's after 10 o'clock.
It's going to be Easter
Go
tomorrow.
play Xbox.
The Easter bunny won't come if you don't get in bed right now.
That's right.
Go.
So I'm wondering if it's because we got it linked to Facebook, if that's why it keeps messing up. Since we did that new today.
Oh yeah.
If it's broadcasting through Facebook, if it's not able to do it, and if so, we're gonna have to stop that and then continue. But we'll see here.
It says it's live now. We're still going.
All right. Yeah, we are. Jeremy Kitts, Deke Deacon, and Toby Bouska. Again.
Bouska.
Damn it. Bouska.
Yes.
Bouska. So you're from Cleveland.
Yes.
Is that would you grow up there?
Yeah.
In Cleveland.
East side of Cleveland. It's was a nice place at one time. As a kid, there was a lot of work there.
In relation to Bone, where were you?
I'm from 55th and Broadway. They were from 99th at St. Clair. You're talking probably about 4 miles.
That's a totally different world.
Yeah, no, it's a different world up there. This is good living here. Everything's different there. People are different. The way you live is different. Everything's different. This is much better. This is what's up right here.
Yeah,
this is where it's at.
How's it different?
People are different. Everything you do in life's different, man.
Is everybody mean up there?
Everybody's mean. Everybody's the toughest. Ain't no smiling. You ain't no, hey, how you doing? Just, here people go out their way just to say hi or to hold the door open for you. There's none of that there. It's a shithole. I love my city. I'm proud to be from there, but right now it's really a shithole. You buy a house there for $5,000.
What could save it?
Really?
You grew up there. You've been through it all. A bomb.
No,
A bomb.
really,
No,
yeah.
don't say that
Don't
because
say that,
if something goes off, now they're looking
I'm
for
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that was a bad joke. You got to put $2 in the swear jar for that.
Yes.
Tell them about the swear
I'm
jar.
having the ATF at my house
Yeah,
tonight.
oh, that's right.
Like,
Homeland
You're
Security.
gonna do what to Cleveland?
No, but
That's
it's,
not funny,
it's real
bro.
bad. You can buy a house there for $5,000. Any place you can buy a house for $5,000, probably don't want to be there.
How bad is
Right.
it? So this is what you do.
But you can flip those houses, maybe make money.
Maybe not.
No?
No.
I'd
that-
buy them
it's-
and tear them down.
that
If I had enough money, if I had $5,000, I'd buy it, tear it down. I'd turn it into a garden. See what happens.
actually that's what they're doing now that the banks. After they go back to the banks, because of course people are letting their house go. If you owe 60, because at one time it was a nice place, so houses was $60,000-$70,000. So if you still owe $40,000 on your house, and the house next to you is going for 10,
Yeah, you ain't gonna get it.
You're gonna pay. You're gonna let your house go.
Yeah.
So once the bank lets them go, the city just comes in and tears them down. They don't even want to leave them abandoned because as soon as people leave the house, people are coming in there to tear everything out of it. So within 4 days, the house looks like shit. So they just tear it down and plant grass.
Swear jar. Talk about the swear jar real quick. Let's see it.
Oh, the swear jar.
We got to get some feedback on
All
that.
right. If people call us out on saying the F bomb,
All you got to do is put a little comment in the box. Just got you. You just said.
I did.
No.
Oh.
That's what the people do. All you got to do is
Oh,
call
okay.
it
I
out.
was like, I did already.
Some people may be watching on their iPad like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
You just
and
call it
then-
out.
Call it out, and money goes into a jar, and then there will be a giveaway when it builds up. I don't know what to, but
Sweet.
you got to call us out, and we'll see
Yeah.
how it starts building
It
up.
may be-
Always good.
It may be $1. It may be 50 cents. We don't know all the rules yet. I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
post it. But we'll just pick a
It'll be
winner.
50 cents an F word.
Make it $1 in F word.
Oh man, I'll go broke.
No, you
Okay,
won't.
yeah,
Watch
a
your mouth,
dollar an F
shit.
word.
Ah, see, that's 50 cents.
That's a quarter. They say it on regular TV. That's not even
Oh,
a cuss
yeah.
word.
Yes, they
It's a-
do.
it's a
Yes,
curse
they
word.
do.
Well, I don't know if they say it on regular TV now.
It's not a bad word for me to say if I had to, but for like a 5-year-old to say, it's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't want my 3-year-old running around saying
5-year-old
shit.
don't know when to use it. Oh, you're in front of grandma.
Right, but he's
Are
not
you
watching.
kidding me?
Hopefully he's not
Yeah,
watching.
he should be in bed right now.
You'll be surprised though. They don't know when to use it, but they know how to use it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now there's
They're
gonna-
little sponges. Like you said earlier, man. They look and soak everything
They
up.
soak it all up. You'll be surprised. Yeah.
There's gonna be some story on the news now about some kids starting a cuss word club in the 2nd grade.
I know where he got that idea.
Yeah, they're gonna be knocking on my door.
If that's all they got to worry about, they
Yeah, they're doing all right,
they're
huh?
Doing all right.
Yeah. That's not doing bad. 7
Right.
kids, that's tough, man.
Oh, jeez, it's tough. It's an animal house.
Yeah.
7 kids.
When I do get to go to the gym with these guys to get my ass kicked, it's like a break.
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Like, no, this is great here.
Yeah, this is great.
You gonna be here another hour? I'll just hang out.
So this is where I met Toby. Is he moved down here right from Cleveland?
Well, actually, from Cleveland, I moved to Morgantown, West Virginia for a year. I just picked that city basically out of nowhere. I just wanted to get the hell out of Cleveland, man. I moved there. Morgantown's a nice place.
Yeah.
It's a really nice place. And then the storms hit down here, so I came here to do some work, and I seen there wasn't a lot of roofing companies here,
Yeah.
so I just decided to move down here,
Settle in.
settle in, and it's
You're down in the hills down
it's
there
great,
around
man.
Jackson.
I'm actually in MacArthur, and I don't
Oh,
have a
hell.
neighbor. I don't have a neighbor. My cell phones don't work out there.
Do you
but-
hike? You like hiking?
No,
No?
I don't. I don't know if I like it. I've never done it. So,
Deke's got a what is it a group or a
Project Badass, man. We're going to be right down there in Zaleski State Forest. We're going to
know.
hike 3 days.
yeah, I would. Yeah, that sounds sweet.
This is how you'll know if you like it. Are you up in Chillicothe often?
About 4 or 5 days a week.
Oh, perfect. Just go out to Great Seal someday and just hike one of the trails.
Well, actually, there's like the Old Man Caves by
Yeah,
us.
oh, yeah. Hawking.
Yeah, and that's a little hiking. We went and did that, but you're only talking maybe a couple hours of hiking. For
Yeah.
this.
Well, I mean, you can be out all day if you hike from Old Man's Caves down to Cedar Falls, and it's a
Right.
pretty rough trail.
That's what I usually do.
Yeah, you can be there a good while.
That's an amazing place. Man.
It is
I mean,
awesome.
The first time I seen
Listen.
it, and then they said they bought it from somebody. Could you imagine
Owning that?
if nobody ever seen it though? Like if that
No,
was
that's
yours,
been
man.
seen. I can
Right.
imagine like
Well, I mean,
100,000 years ago, there's Indians telling stories to other Indians, and that's like an amphitheater, and they're
no,
booming.
but somebody actually owned that not that long ago. It wasn't that was somebody's property. Just I think.
I'm talking longer ago, like 100,000 years ago. We weren't even thinking about being in America. You know what I mean? This was all a whole different land. I bet they go down there and tell stories and have party. Why wouldn't you have a party in that place?
Yeah.
If you were an Indian tribe and you stumbled upon that, you're going to be like, oh, this is it.
Yeah,
It's an amazing place.
The new house,
It's an amazing
kids.
place.
Settle in.
Then they just put in some safety features, and
It's still dangerous.
Oh, it's
Oh,
dangerous.
yeah, it
People
is.
die out there.
my
almost
cousin
every
fell off
year.
a cliff out there. We were
It's-
walking up on this thing. It was like a little ledge this wide to get up in a little cave-looking thing.
Yeah.
And he slipped. There was one spot that went in, and he stepped on it and slipped. It was about 25 feet. He fell and messed up his ankle. I don't know if he broke it or sprained it really bad, but it swelled up bad. Like, it was just like he slipped, and I was right behind him, and it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, we took our kids. I was a nervous wreck.
Oh god! If
I
you
was
had
a
all
nervous wreck.
7 of them.
Yeah, I was a nervous wreck.
Oh my
We
God,
had-
you
we
can't
had a
do
lot
that.
more adults with us and stuff, but
Yeah.
it was.
There's some places you could easily
Wait
just
till it
be
starts
We didn't
raining
know
out
that was
there.
our first time going. We didn't know the extent of it or nothing. We just we'll go
like
see
going
this.
to like the Rock House or something like
Yeah,
that would be
that's
what you take
different.
them,
Yeah.
but not those, not down there. Maybe.
Hey, when
I mean,
it rains, it gets nasty down there. It can get deep and fast. Yeah, I mean that adds a whole nother element to it. Like,
Right.
you got instead of like a
Yeah.
nice trickling stream, you get them spring rains going through there. It's
Yeah, it gets that deep like that.
oh
where-
yeah. You could probably ride a kayak down it.
and I was down there when there was some ice.
Yeah, that's
Like,
cool too in the winter.
That's crazy. It's kind of it's hard to do. It's slick everywhere. Like not ice hanging off, but that's
Kids, you
cool.
should do
But
a
walking,
hike sometime.
I should. Yeah.
Yeah, do you get vacation where you work?
Yeah, but not from the gym.
Yeah. Well, you need to get a manager then,
I guess so. Yeah.
gym manager or something. Pay him
But it
like
could be. I could do
$8.50 an hour.
weekends. I could do something on the weekends probably.
You would need just like an overnight, so it could be a Monday, Tuesday. That's when we.
Oh,
usually
during the
go.
week.
Could you ever do one of them days? Both of those
Maybe.
days,
I don't know.
preferably?
Possibly. I'd have to know in advance a while to see if I could do it.
Well, we
Yes,
got an
Jeremy
April
is a
trip.
dedicated trainer. He doesn't miss a whole lot at all. He's dedicated to what he does.
I can't leave the gym. It's in. I need to grow it.
No, I mean, I can't really.
Yeah. You need a manager.
Yeah, but they have to be. I do the training.
Well, you need somebody who's good and wants to make like $8.50 an hour. You'd have to pay him pretty good. You'd probably have to pay him better than that, honestly.
No, if he found a trainer, they'd do it. Like you would have Matt. Matt's good. Matt held a good class. It was really fun, man.
Yeah.
And he does it just to help you because he's your buddy. You know what I mean?
He's
And
giving
he
me
enjoys doing
a
it.
commercial now.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're still recording it. It seems like it's going. I
That
hope.
must be the natural thing. Maybe it does that every once in a while. It shows you a commercial so they can get their money.
Yeah.
So it'll just maybe. Well, I don't know if it would delay this long, but it says live still. Got to get that worked out.
So you grew up in Cleveland.
Yes.
You went to school there and stuff. Like, how was
Yeah.
school? Was it like? Was there a lot of black population or a lot of
Yeah,
white?
There's not a whole lot of white. No, like when I was 8 or 9, it started to change over like a whole lot. School, well, my name's Toby, so
Oh, goodness.
like it was like
It was a
like
popular
when you gotta
movie.
watch Roots every year.
Yeah.
So that's why, to me, when I came to the gym, fighting was nothing because it was. I mean, you just did it your whole life. Fighting is like nothing. It could be every month you was good to get into a fight. School, I only went to public school till I was 14. Then I went to jail, and since then I got out, and they kept me in like a special school, like a boot camp school.
You went to jail when you were 14.
Yeah.
What was you?
First time I got locked up, I was 14. Just being a product of your environment. That's what it is. You just become a product of your environment. That's what you see. You do what you see as a kid. You know, just as a little child, you start.
absolutely.
How we were just talking earlier, how kids absorb
You can
stuff.
sit back and pull it to you.
You start absorbing it, and you think that that's the way of life. You think that that's cool, and you just get caught up in it. And then once you get caught up in a cycle, it's so hard to get out.
So what did you do? It was drug stuff when you were 14.
Well, no, when I was 14, it was robbing houses. It was the first thing that I started getting into, was robbing houses.
You had some buddies probably doing it.
Doing it, but you know, that's one thing I found out at an early age. I didn't like the way people felt about you, even though you ain't robbing. When people know that you steal, nobody likes a thief.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
I mean, nobody probably likes. Not a lot of people like drug dealers neither, but nobody likes a thief.
Everybody knows a drug dealer.
Yeah.
They go often to a doctor.
You'll at least let them in your house.
Well, hey, people go to a doctor. A lot of doctors are just drug dealers. You know what I mean? It's just, they call it a different name. So, one man's sins ain't no better. You know what I mean? Just because you're making millions off of it, as opposed to
I think
in
it's
the
better.
hood scraping it out.
I think I think there's a little more honor amongst drug dealers and thieves. I don't know. Nobody likes to rob people's houses. I just think
It's a dirtbag move.
that's a dirtbag move.
Yeah.
That's real dirt. That's just, and I caught on early. Like, that wasn't me. So
Yeah.
then I went the opposite way.
But
Yeah,
you
you're
got
14.
so you
I've done the same thing when I was a kid.
did you get caught in a house?
Well, I got caught robbing quite a few houses. The whole crew, it was like a crew. Like you said, you get with the wrong kids, start cutting school, cutting with girls, and somebody's parents don't work. Make him cut school too, the little nerd or something. Well, you cut school with us, and then people go to work, and you just rob the house. It's just young and dumb, man.
Right.
That's one thing in my
Where'd they
life.
send you to when you got caught?
Well, they got juvenile hall. I went there for like 6 months, and then go to court, and then I went to juvenile boot camp, which was that was something. that was rough. They try to keep it as rough as they try to keep it like the real military.
Screaming and yelling at you.
Screaming and yelling. You do what they say, or they'll put you on your ass real quick.
What do you think about it? Did it harm you or help you?
It helped. There was no way it can harm. I mean,
You cooperated and like you didn't try to go against the system at that point.
The thing is you get sentenced. Like, say I was sentenced 2 years, but then I could get a chance to go to this boot camp program. You do 9 months, and then you go home, but then you're in their aftercare and stuff. So it's like, you mess up, you're going to do your 2 years, and all your time starts over. Whatever time you did in juvenile and then the time you did in boot camp, none of that counts. So you got that in your head too. So you don't want to go do that 2 years. You want to do that 90 days. First month they make it real rough on you. Then they start, as you're there a little longer, they start loosening up, and then it was something that I really started enjoying. And it was a good experience. It was a good experience. It was good for kids. All the kids in there, when you left, you had a different sight on life, man. All the kids. I noticed, well, not all of them. You can't do it for all of them, but most of the kids there, it helped. You could really tell.
Did it provide anything for you educationally?
Yeah, because like.
It's a lot easier to do your homework whenever someone forcing you to do your homework.
Right. When you got it, when I was in, before I went to the boot camp, I was in like the juvenile hall there. I don't know how the hell teachers kept their, like, teacher would turn their back and you'd have a kid slap him in the back of the head with a book. I mean, it was crazy.
At your school?
No, at the juvenile hall part. But then once you went to the boot camp, you got real sergeants from the Marines, from the Navy. These guys didn't. You go to put your hands on one of them, it was going to be bad for you.
Right.
Choked up.
Yeah, you'll be choked up real quick. So you learned your lesson, and you learn how to say yes, sir, no, sir. You learn respect more. Showed you things how to sew. You get up every morning, you go on a run before you eat. Come back, shower, then you eat. And then
The Ross County Juvenile Hall is like, it's just a lockdown facility. Like, you're in your cell. You mix just one time a day for shooting basketball, and then it's for an hour. You're not allowed to play basketball. You just got to play cow or horse, and then you go back to your cell.
Why couldn't you play basketball?
You're not allowed to touch
Just
other
too aggressive,
kids.
huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where you were at, that's where you went.
I don't know if it's too aggressive, but it was easier for the staff. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't want to take a chance at anything, so we're not even
Start
going to
fights.
pretend. Hey, play cow or go back to your cell. All right, I'm going to play cow.
Yeah.
3 walls. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, missed.
So that straightened you out after you got out of that
Not
that
at all.
camp.
Not at all.
Not at all. Then I got out. I went to their school for a couple years. For about 18 months, they finally let me go back to public school. I was in there for about 2 weeks and stabbed somebody for trying to take my coat, though. I didn't.
In school?
In school.
In
Yeah.
public school?
In public school, yeah.
So you carried a knife with you.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's. You're right. You're talking. If you got 30 kids in a class, you're about maybe 4 white kids. Out of them 4 white kids, 2 of them might fight. You know what I mean? So it just you had to just do what you had to do, and they're gonna take advantage of you. It's
Right.
just how life was.
And they were trying to do that, and you
They're
stabbed
trying
them.
to do that.
Did your parents know you
Wild
carried
West.
a knife?
I didn't have a dad. My mom was like an alcoholic. I had my brothers. If my brothers know I'm carrying a knife, after I did what I did, they come up to the school to try to find the kid again. There's not like we had a crew of us, and literally before I went to the high school, one of my brothers went there and got in a fight on the football
Your
field.
brother, as in like a blood brother,
No,
just
not
brother.
even just a brother. Just
like not a
just- we're
gang,
just
a gang,
brothers.
not a
I
gang.
would, no gang. Why would a gang? Why would you call yourself? Well, who needs a name? If we all hang out together and we all love each other, why do we got to call ourselves something? Why draw that attention to yourselves?
Right.
I got your back. You got my back.
It's the
Why
gang of no gang.
Right.
you
It's
you
the
just
camouflage
look out for each other.
gang.
Right? Right, with chameleons.
I can
The
see the advantage of that.
nonchalant. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. I mean,
Right,
It's just your
people you
homies.
can rely on. Yes.
Everybody
Far
has
few in
friends.
between with good solid white guys. It was just you just didn't have that very much. So when we found each other, we all migrated and stayed together, and I still talk to them guys still today.
so were any of those the guys that you got? Did you get in trouble with them?
Oh, my whole life, all the
Okay.
same guys. I got in trouble with them. Some of them are still in prison now. Some are probably on their way to prison. Some are on their way home.
So you guys were all doing the same. What were you doing?
You
guys
know,
were selling drugs, or
Well, that was
Dealing.
my thing. That's what I did. That's what I went to prison for, was selling drugs. A lot of them are just rough guys who like to fight a lot, drink a lot. And, drink can get you in the bars before you know it, you're fighting, and it's a lot easier to get in trouble there. Man. It's real easy to get in trouble there. Real as much something as little as me being in a store and stepping on your new shoes could cause a big problem. A big problem
in
Like,
Cleveland?
in Cleveland. I mean,
When
not
that-
just
when- at the
Cleveland,
time.
any major city, Cincinnati, Columbus.
There's people
Just-
like that.
There's just something as much as stepping on someone's shoe can lead to.
That's crazy that
Some-
people
Damn it!
can
You know
just,
it's disrespectful. Don't do it.
I mean, if it's an accident,
It's-
though.
yeah,
Like,
I know, accidents happen.
and the thing is, though, it's like I said, you become a product of your environment. So now you did it, and you go to say sorry, and he's like, well, now you can't let him get away with that neither.
Yeah.
And it's something just like that. Now you guys are fighting, and your friends are getting in it. Next
Too
thing you
much
know,
pride.
guns are coming, and over something just that simple.
Yeah.
just that simple.
somebody stepped on somebody's shoe.
stepped on somebody's shoe.
You think it's too much pride?
Too much pride. You can't let nobody get over. If you let them take that much, next thing they're gonna come and try to take a whole bunch.
If somebody
Just-
stepped on my shoe, I'd be like, unless they like.
Now that's
If-
definitely no problem. Step on my shoe.
Yeah.
I can give a shit.
Who cares? I got look at these. I got these for like $15. They're New Balance. See what I mean?
I mean, and that's the way life should be. That who the hell should give a shit about shoes? Now that's how I am. But when you're there and that's where you're at and that's how things are, you're gonna adapt to that environment.
Yeah.
And you just become a product of your environment, and it becomes just you do over and over and over. If you don't get the hell out
What
of there,
made you decide that? You know what? I'm done, man. I just
7
wanna-
years of being incarcerated.
Yeah,
And, I want to watch my kids grow up. I don't want them going to jail and just.
So
From what age to what age? 14 to.
I started at 14, and I haven't been in trouble in about 7 years, and probably won't be in trouble like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
ever again.
yeah.
Not for nothing stupid like that. Never again. Just got to get away. If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Did you like?
Sorry about
I
that.
mean, moving away, was that a key
Oh, that was it. That was
key.
it. That was the key thing. It was
Where did all these kids come into play too?
They're all with the same woman though.
But along the way, like what ages were you?
Yeah, but I wanted to put that out there too. They're all with the same woman. I don't have kids all over.
Kids
the city
all
of
over, yeah.
Cleveland. Yeah. I don't owe no child support.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Who
good.
we got? The guy in New Jersey who just won the Powerball. That's what he did. He's got like 5 kids. He owes $30,000 in back child support.
And they're gonna get his
Probably
ass.
5 different women.
Yeah, all mine are at home with my wife.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I thought
John and Kate plus 8.
shoot, man, they're up to 17 or
The
16.
Duggars. Is that the Duggars? Yeah, I watched them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they got a good system for feeding a lot of people, though, man.
I'm gonna step out for a second. Use the bathroom.
All right.
So this jackass, I shouldn't say anything bad about
We
it.
need-
I don't want to judge him. I don't
Hey.
want to judge this guy out in New Jersey who has got $30,000 in back child support. I don't know his story, so
Since
about to call him a bad
are
person.
you talking about him now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He won the lottery,
Yeah,
right?
apparently he is playing the lottery and not paying his kids weekly. But they're about to get paid now. I think his take home was $221 million out of the government got about $150 million in taxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
153 million.
yeah, that's ridiculous. Well, I mean, he got $221 million take home. Like that's going in his bank account. Well, I mean, it's going in. It's probably them kids' moms are shouting to the high heavens because they're going to get paid for sure.
Yeah, the kids,
Yeah.
the
Well,
mom.
the moms are taking care of the kids.
Yeah,
so
they're
hopefully.
gonna-
Or grandmas, whoever.
So
Dude, I need a screwdriver for this.
for what?
Do this.
Oh, really? I don't know if I
You don't
have. Yeah,
have one?
I got you. We're gonna have some technical difficulties. We got to shout out the cystic fibrosis.
Well, I do not. We don't even have that paper.
The cystic fibrosis one I can tell you. You need a screwdriver.
I wonder how much money that these children are going to get from this. I mean, they're going to.
Are they gonna get what was owed with a little bit of interest, or are they gonna
What
get the
was
whole?
owed? What was owed?
What was owed?
Are they going to get what there was owed times millions or hundreds of thousands? Because they're each getting at least $1 million. That's just a lawyer could get you that easily. I'm sure if your dad just hits $221 million, you're getting a good portion of that.
Right. For sure.
$221 million used to be like a funny, like high amount. It'd be like $1 gajillion, like back in 1884.
a gajillion.
Yeah, it'd be
Yes.
like saying somebody 200. I mean, we got a $4 trillion or what? No, it's probably way more than that now. Deficit.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, back in the day, that was like a made-up number. 4 trillion. What's that? 4 trillion. We don't even go over millions.
Yeah, now $1 million ain't like.
Oh,
for
$1 million ain't
millionaire,
nothing.
that ain't-
But I could live off $1 million, but it ain't nothing like it was back in the 1890s.
You'd
the
have to
early
make something with that
1900s.
$1 million. You couldn't just live off of that $1 million.
No. You could buy some nice stuff though. We got to get that swear jar up and running. I feel like I have an open. I can swear as much as I want, and when I don't want to swear so much, because I don't have that restriction on me yet. So I just want to do it a lot. I just want to curse a lot.
So, Toby, you hung out with these guys after you went to the boot camp thing, right?
No, these guys been my brothers forever. We're
Okay.
Like I'm from a street. I have the street tattooed on my back. We're from forever. I'm saying since I was 5 years old, and still today we're still brothers. We never separated. Their kids call me Uncle Toby. You
Do they
I'm-
know that you've changed your lifestyle, or are they respectful
oh,
to
no.
that?
There's I'm still me.
Yeah.
I mean
But
I'm
some
just
people
me. I'm
be
not
like,
there.
Oh, you don't want to come?
No,
make this
we're
money
all
with me?
adults.
What's-
We ain't
yeah.
kids no more.
Yeah.
They got kids.
Hey,
They do
some
their
people
own
never
thing.
grow up though. You get
They-
stuck in that. Some people who are incarcerated young get stuck at that age.
I have a brother coming home in August, and his wife moved to Arizona. He he might not be able to pro to her house, so he actually might pro to my house, so he can also get out of there because he don't want to go back down to that same stuff. Everybody, sooner or later, you start to get tired of it. It's just if nothing changes, then nothing changes. If you
Just
don't
natural growing up.
it's and that's it. As you're growing up, you think that it's natural. This is normal. Like go do 2 years. Like when you got sentenced 2 years. When I got sentenced 2 years, I was like 2 years, and that sounds sick, dude. But I was literally like, fuck, come on, when they offered me the 2 years, I was like, let's go, sweet.
How were the schools like?
Very bad.
How was the education level?
Well, Cleveland was ranked as one of the worst in the nation
Yeah.
for years. Like they was like the third worst behind Detroit and like I think Baltimore, Maryland or something. We was the worst. Schools really sucked. And like that's you're going there, you're gonna fight. So then why do you go? You just stop going. Why am I gonna go to school if I'm just gonna go there and fight? Or you ain't gonna learn nothing because you got kids screaming and yelling. Some little badass kids in the neighborhood and from the hood. Man, them kids are bad as hell.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So
you wouldn't think a 14 or 13 or 15-year-old could do anything bad, but
shit.
they can if they're little adults.
Honestly, that's the way. At 13, I thought I was a young man. I did what I wanted to do.
I think the problem is a lot of times they don't give kids at 13 or 14 enough responsibility.
Yeah.
You need to be responsible for a few things when you're 13 or 14 years old.
You know who really, really, really needs to step up are the motherfucking daddies.
Oh yeah, I agree totally.
That's where
You want me to get some statistics out? It's the worst.
That's really where it all starts mostly, man. It is young boys especially. They need a dad to put a foot in their ass.
It almost makes you like whenever you tell people you have kids, you gotta specify like, I'm a good dad.
No, all at home with my wife. Yeah, right,
I'm a good dad.
Right, you don't want to say I got 7 kids because most of the time people thinking, oh, this fucking guy's got kids over here.
That used to be natural, 7 kids. Heck,
right.
That's a small family around down in the holler.
yeah.
So you're doing the prepping with your kids?
yeah.
Have the prep team?
How's that coming?
Not too good.
So the youngest one's how old?
3.
What you went to that boot camp thing. You got out. How old were you when you went to prison?
Probably about 18.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, fresh 18. Like I actually had ambitions to join the military.
Like you probably did the crime when you were 17?
No, I went to a concert when I was 18 years old, and I had. Hopefully, no kids are listening to this shit. I had a bunch of acid in my pocket, and I was at the concert selling acid, and I got stopped. Right when I was 18, I was probably 18 for like 3 or 4 months, and I actually was thinking about going in the military and stuff. The boot camp change really had me thinking that the military thing. Like I really enjoyed meeting the sergeants and stuff that was there. I liked it. The stories they told us, they really had me wanting to do that. But then, like I say, it's just a cycle. So as soon as I was 18, I caught that charge. You can't go to the Marine. You can't go to no military. So then I got put on probation for it, and then I screwed that up, and that's when I got my first penitentiary number. And then when I got out, that's what I did from there on out.
200-361. That was my number.
200. You was a 200 number.
200-361.
361. That's what's that about a 98?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old number.
That was a good calculation, man. That was,
that's professional right there.
Yeah, I know a little bit too much about it. Little too much about it.
I think it's the best thing that ever happened
So,
to me, getting incarcerated. I mean, force you, like I did not believe that I was smart when I was incarcerated. I didn't know that I could make a future for myself in a different way besides trying to take it or sell something to make it. Like I didn't believe that I was smart enough. So you just go out and you try to make money however you think you can.
That wasn't it. I didn't think that I wasn't smart enough. I just got a taste of. I'm not. I'm not saying I was selling hollers out on the corner. I was getting money. You know what I mean? I'm 20 years old. I own my own house, paid for it. I own a Harley, own cars. Once you get that taste, Man, I
Oh,
don't want to
yeah.
learn how to work on a car. I don't want to do nothing. I'm not gonna. And that's another thing. You're in a cycle now. You're not thinking about nothing else. You're getting into that cycle.
Getting
Why
that
am I gonna
money.
do anything else? I'm getting money. I'm the man. I'm leave for days at a time. Go to the bars. I mean, I'd call my wife from other cities. Like, yeah, I'll be home in 3 or 4 days. She hated it. I put her through hell.
You got a good woman, man.
Yeah. I got a good woman.
I
Put
mean,
her
that's a
through
lot to
hell.
put up with.
Oh, it is. And then
Sometimes
to treat her like that, and then go to prison, and she still came to see me, never missed a visit. She was a good woman.
I feel that way about my mother, man. My mom came to see me, cried her eyes out for her. That's what hit me the most, and really, that changed my heart in a big way, watching my mom cry every 2 weeks when she left, you know?
It sucks, the visits, them coming to see you in visits. But even in jail, when I was in there, I didn't learn my lesson. I was selling drugs in there. When I say I did it since I was 15, I got 3 penitentiary numbers. I did it every time I was in the penitentiary. Every time. I've never stopped selling drugs. Every time.
You did it while you're in there.
While I'm in there, I send money home. While I'm in jail, I could send money home to my wife.
And they
Well,
didn't
if
know
you-
you're sending money?
You don't send money. You have your people send the money. Like your people go meet my wife, bring her some money, or I just give you an address, you give it to your people, they send a money order.
So the money's being made outside.
The money's all being transferred outside. Of course, it ain't. The only money inside was at the time cigarettes, coffee, stuff like that. But that's cool
What's the
that's
drink?
cool for the little stuff. But when you're talking, you owe me $500, you can't give me that much coffee.
So it was basically like you had a connection that somebody else didn't have, and you used them to go do your work.
I had someone bringing it to me, so
Oh, you're doing it in there.
I was
Okay.
doing it. I had somebody that was bringing it in, and then you find your couple good people that got money on the streets, and then you just fuck with them only. So you don't want to get high. You don't want people in the jail knowing you're selling weed, of course, because you're
Right.
gonna get caught fast. You get you 2, maybe 3 guys, and they don't tell nobody, and then you just keep it low. If you've seen the size of the stuff you get in there, man, for $50 or $100, dude, it's unreal.
It's like gold.
Oh, it's
So
more than gold.
what's it like going from making an extreme amount of money for a living to making
to being on a
making
roof busting
yeah,
my ass?
yeah.
It fucking sucks, but I know I'm going home at the end of the day. It's
Yeah.
It's a good call, family. You know what I mean?
You went. How many kids did you have? You didn't have any kids the first time you went.
Yep.
You
I
did?
Had, yep. I had a newborn. I actually had 2 kids the first time I
The
went.
first time you went, and then you got out after 2 years.
No, first time I went only did 6 months,
Okay.
and then I got out, and actually I made it out for quite a while, for about 7 or 8 years, and in between that time, I selling drugs. I really got into the game,
And you had more kids.
and I was having kids because it didn't matter. And like now, I'm like, holy shit, dude, how the fuck am I gonna afford all these kids? But at the time, it didn't matter. Money was unconditional. It didn't. I just seen that. I didn't look for the future. All I knew was I'm making this. I can have all these kids. I didn't think about I'm ever gonna quit and I'm gonna want to get a real job one day. I never thought of that. I thought this is what I'm gonna do forever. I actually thought that I was gonna possibly even live on that street forever. The same street that I was raised on and did all my dirt on. Yeah, I'd
Glad
have
you
my.
got out, man. It's a hard
great.
life.
It's-
You know what I mean?
It's hard.
So you were
A lot
out.
of guys don't ever make it out, though.
You
You know?
but then you got caught again.
Right after I got my house raided, I went to prison. Like I did 2 years.
Do you know how it happened? Who told? Did somebody narked on you? And
Someone set me up. I messing with somebody that someone introduced me to. That was another thing is you can get a cycle. You can get a group of people, and you can stay in the game a long time if you stay with your group of people, and don't chase every dollar. Every dollar ain't a good dollar. I'm telling someone else.
No, this is
Every
good.
dollar ain't a good dollar. So if you stay with your tight group, you could do good. Well, I stepped out of that group. I kind of stayed with one thing. I was selling weed, and you don't really get in trouble for it. I mean, selling a lot of it. Well, the weed wasn't coming, so I started selling other things. Now that brings real heat to you, what it should, because it brings real problems to people.
Right.
Without a doubt. So, I got what I had coming, man, because that's bad shit. But I sold to somebody that somebody else introduced me to, and they told on me. When I
Do you think that guy that introduced you knew?
Not at all. Not at all. I still talk to him. still
So
today.
the
It's one of
guy
my
was a
brothers.
narc. Was it
Yeah,
undercover
he
a
met in
cop
prison.
or a
Yeah, he
narc?
met in prison. No, just a snitch that when he met in prison and he got out and he caught more cases. He was just catching cases, and actually he ended up setting up 9 people, and he
To
still
try to get less
and he
time.
still got 10 years in the feds. He still got 10 years in the feds, and he will never be allowed to come back in Cleveland again.
Wow.
When he gets out, because he set up some serious people.
Wow. So they came and raided your house.
They came and raided my house. Yeah, that was a bad experience for my kids and shit. That's terrible for your kids to wake up and see. I mean, the cops could barely move. I mean, there were so many you could barely move in the house. That was shitty. You know, the kids still remember today about certain words that the cops said. You know, just stay picking up my wife's panties and just dumb
Wow.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, it sucks.
You know,
It sucks.
you don't want to put kids through that again. That's
But
crazy.
so you were making all that money, having all these kids, you know, because you had money.
And
And
and I
now-
love my kids though too. It wasn't
No,
like I
yeah.
just, I wanted a big family, and at the time I wanted like maybe 11 or 12 kids.
Right.
And
I mean,
I wanted a big family. I love my kids, and I thought family was strong. Family represented. You know, you're around there, bigger your family is, the stronger your family.
yeah,
You
yeah.
feel you got to set a good example now.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean-
My kids seen way more than they should have ever seen, man. Way
Because
more.
they're what? They're sponges. You know what I mean?
Right. Like my older ones, man, they know more and seen more. Anything you say in front of them, you're not surprising them. You're not shocking them. Like, when we was at the gym one day, they was telling stories. Some of the older parents, Larry's dad and stuff, was telling stories about when he was a kid. And my kid said, "Dad, why aren't you telling none of your stories?" I said, buddy, because they going to call me a goddamn liar. They going to tell me I seen that shit on TV. So I don't even tell stories because most people ain't even going to believe it. So,
Right.
This shit, it's like, hey, what movie did you see that off of?
Yeah.
I
Just
ain't
be
seen
like,
it off
settle
of
down, son. Settle down. It's rude to interrupt. Let the men talk.
You watch too much Scarface. Or something.
And a lot of stories I didn't tell them. Like I was always I wouldn't tell my kids certain things, but some of my brothers are just kind of ignorant, and they'd go stay at their house or something, and my brothers would tell them stories about things we did when we was kids, and they'd come home like, "Oh, Dad, Uncle Ted told me what you guys did," and I was like, "Yeah."
Did you
So-
know your Uncle Ted's a liar?
So you're messing with all these drugs and stuff at your house? Did you keep guns?
Oh, guns! You got to keep
Because
guns.
you're-
That goes hand in
you
hand.
know-
You're not going to have drugs without guns. Every time I called a case, I got 3 gun cases right now on my record.
It's a valuable thing.
If
You
you
know?
get caught if you get caught with drugs, you better get caught with guns too, because you'd rather get caught by the police with the drugs and guns than get caught with just the drugs by somebody else without your gun.
Right, and that's just in case some
Okay,
people
so-
that know you have
people,
stuff.
People
will
are
come.
scoping and scheming all the time.
Yeah.
That was an important thing about being on the street where we all lived. So you got a house here, everybody can protect each other, because if not, one man can't make it out on the streets. You can go out and sell your little kibbles and bits on the street and make it, but if you're getting money, there's people out there watching. There's wolves out there. I don't care who you are or who you think you are. If you're getting money, there's wolves out there watching you.
Right.
I wonder if it would ever, what is I think here, be a law to, like, what if you had your concealed carry permit and you got caught with marijuana? and
You're
a
going to
gun?
prison.
Let's see. What gives
Really?
What gives the state the
Oh,
right to say
If
like,
you have your gun on you
If you have your gun with drugs, you're going to jail.
So if it's in your house
What
with
with
drugs,
the permit,
Well, yeah, you've got drugs and gun together. You're going to prison.
No matter
Your
what.
permits
now
out
you
the
said
window.
is that a federal
Because
crime or is
now-
that a state crime?
Oh, it's state. It's state. Now,
Well,
after
how
you
can
catch,
the state
after you
impede?
catch a couple state charges with guns, the feds can pick CCWs up. Not the feds won't pick it up if you had a gun in your house, but if you got a gun on your persons and you're walking around with it, the feds will pick it up. Just a gun charge, CCW, the feds will pick it up.
If it's holstered and out, you'll be good to go.
Not if you're a felon.
Oh yeah, if you're a felon.
But no, if you once I'm sure I never read whatever it is you sign when you get your concealed weapon permit, but I'm sure in the thing that you're signing, it's telling you that if you have drugs with a gun, this permit means shit. You know, it's you go to jail if you got drugs with a gun. Now you're
See,
going
what
to jail.
makes this? What gives the state the right to trump your constitutional right to own a firearm? Just because you sell marijuana does not mean that you.
What if
don't
you were
need to
just
protect
smoking
yourself.
it?
Well,
Or-
that's the thing though. Where they could separate it too.
They
is-
would
is
just
if-
say-
yeah, you're smoking it, but they come in your usually when they come in your house, they already got to sell. So you're already somebody just can't say, hey, he's got weed in there. They got to get a buy.
So definitely, what if you just got caught? You had a sack of marijuana in you, and you had your concealed carry and your gun. Is that
I think you're good. Yeah, you're good.
okay? You're good that way,
You're good
though.
that way, right? But if you get caught trafficking any kind of drug,
Right, trafficking
then
though.
you
That right.
your
Got you.
concealed permits out the window.
Yeah.
It's worthless. You're going to prison for having a gun and
I
drugs.
wonder if I need a lawyer to tell me if that's fightable. Like, how does a state trump a federal law?
I've
It
never
gives
went to
me-
court without a lawyer in my life, so if it was fightable, I would have fought it. You're not.
Yeah,
I wasn't. If when I did get caught, I had a lawyer.
I want to take it to the Supreme Court.
So anything you take in the Supreme Court, you do that from inside.
Yeah,
So when you're doing 2 years or something, Supreme Court, you might get hurt in a year.
unless you can get out on bail.
Right, but I'm saying by the time you get something to go to the Supreme Court, it's not a fast process. You can only be out on bail. Your case might drag on for a year if you got a good lawyer.
You get stuck behind.
And listen, then you can't take it to the Supreme Court until you was found guilty because until you're found guilty, you can't even say that they violated any of your rights. Because the court's still in process. So how can you? What are you saying they violated?
Well, then they shouldn't legally. Well, I guess they do legally hold you sometimes.
So you went the second time for 2 years
2 years.
with you got caught with drugs and firearms,
Drugs and firearms. Money.
and that's your second time. It wasn't your first offense. Did you think? Did
no,
you get
no.
off easy? Were you
Well,
lucky?
Yes, I was. Because actually, what they could have caught me with, when they pulled me over, they were following me all night. If they would have pulled me over, one of my friends was driving. I was going to my dude's house to pick up my stash. We was turning into his yard when they pulled me over. If they would have pulled me over pulling out of his yard,
It would have been
it
way
would have
worse.
it would have been really all bad. It would have been real bad. So yeah, it was a blessing, and I knew that right away. Like I knew. I mean, the whole time I'm just sitting there thinking like,
What
oh
they
my
thought
God,
was
what
that
if
you were delivering it, and they were like,
well,
"Let's get him before he goes
what it is
inside."
after I sold to the snitch, they had to take it. Then they had to go get their search warrant. They don't have the search. They got to go get the search warrant from the judge or whoever they get it from, the prosecutor. So that during that time that they got it, they were just following me around. They didn't think they thought the drugs were at my house. They were just following me around. But the thing is my wife is totally against the hard drugs. She was never on it. And then I couldn't let her know, so it wasn't even at my house. So I couldn't leave it there.
So you were doing them too.
Oh,
You're,
yeah,
you're
of
doing
course.
the drugs too.
Of course, that comes with the life too. Yeah,
You're not supposed to get high on your own supply, man.
Yeah. I'd probably been a millionaire right now if I followed that rule. Yep.
So you did 2 years then, and you had already had 4 kids.
Yeah.
When you come, and then you got out. When did you get out? Was this the last time you went?
No, and then I got out, and you were on. When you get out, you're on PRC. Even though you do your whole time, you're still on like some kind of control. They want to know where you're at least for. Well, I think like 2 years I was on PRC. It's called post-release controls. You got to report once a month. You got to piss in a cup. Even though, now this is one thing about Ohio that really is fucked up. It's because it's double jeopardy. I did all my time. You sentenced me to 2 years. I did the whole 2 years. You didn't let me out early. And when I got out, you still put me under
Right.
post-release control. That shouldn't be. Ohio's one of the only places that does that. That's crazy. So then I violated that by not reporting. So by you not reporting, they charge you with escape.
And
What's that entail? 4
that you
years?
didn't report. It entailed another 2 years for me. Well, I knew I was wanted for not reporting, and then when the cops pulled me over, I went on a little joyride with them.
Well, you learn the hard way, don't you?
Oh wait, it's fun. I'm going to jail. Let's have some fun with it. Got my teeth knocked out for it. My eyes swelled up. Wasn't mad. I had it coming. I ran and got caught. Hey, it happens. I mean, even the cops, the like one of the commanding officers came in to talk to me to ask me what happened. He said, you know what went on? I said, I fell into a rubber tree. He said, you fell into a rubber tree, huh? I said, yes, sir. He said, okay, have a nice day. What am I gonna cry about the cop beat me up? I ran.
Right,
I ran. I
right.
got that coming.
You had it coming.
Yeah.
That's right. So then you got you another 2
Oh
years.
yeah, that got me another 2 years. You know, the first 2 years when I did that 2 years, it didn't phase me. That was a sick thing. Like it didn't phase me. I was like 2 years, let's go, and then like
You were 8. You were what age at then when you did that 2 years?
like 27, 26. It literally had no fate. Like I was like, 2 years is nothing. You got that coming. That's the way. That was my mentality as growing up. You have that coming. That's part of becoming a man. You got some years coming. That's just. And
Everybody you knew was
everybody
doing
does
it.
Everybody does it. 2 years, shit, we're sweet. That's nothing. Everybody telling me, oh, don't worry about that. You're good. I mean, it's like as soon as you go there, you got people waiting on you to give you your food or whatever, because you know so many people in the place, man. It ain't, when you're like from out in smaller places, you might have to go in and get in a gang or something too, because you're one man. I go in, I know so many people. I went to school with this guy. My brother's over here. I got not just white people, neither black people too. Like I mess around with because I was raised in Cleveland,
Right.
so
Yeah, I think you might have to have some black friends if you're. I mean, your school was a majority.
Oh,
black,
right, and
you know?
yeah, right. I guess you really don't have to, because honestly, some of my brothers didn't.
Oh, yeah.
They were totally against that, but that was their thing, and then my thing is I had a lot of black friends. I mean, that's just so I never had to do the gang thing in jail or nothing. I never needed protection, because that's what people. And it ain't just saying somebody is a bitch or something, but you're only one man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're only one man can only do so much. So.
Yeah.
I never really had to do the gang thing or nothing, so
One
that
man
was
can only
good.
look one way.
Right.
And
I'm
then
glad you got out of all that, man.
so you got out that was the last 2 years you did, right?
Yeah,
Or not?
That was the last.
You
That was
did-
the last 2 years I did.
Did you have any kids between those 2 years?
Yeah, I've had kids since I've came home. I've had one.
Or
kid.
before the
Yeah. Yep. I had No, I didn't.
You had 4. You went to prison for 2
No,
years.
I had 6 when I went to prison for the 2 years.
The first 2
The
years.
first 2 years.
And none in between those 2 terms or
Nope,
whatever you call
none,
them.
None. I was home. I was only home
Since-
like 8 months. Whenever I went back, I was only home 8 months. And now that's the sick part. It's like it didn't. I didn't care. I just didn't. I was like, hey, like to me, like 1 or 2 years, you're not even.
So you
Fuck.
went back at 27,
Well,
28?
It was like just a little break. You thought, man, it gives me a little break from fuck you, sweet, man. I need a year. I need to get. How sick and sad is that?
That's a
Think
long
that-
time when you're just doing the same old shit, right?
Sucks
you-
being in prison.
You need no, but I felt when I got locked up, I felt that it was a relief, man. It was really a relief. Like when I did the first 2 years, it was kind of a relief.
Just
Yeah,
'cause-
that's
were
how
you-
you know you're in trouble,
Dude,
because that shit
you're in a lifestyle. You're in a cycle.
Were you
man.
like so paranoid all the time that you were
No,
gonna
I'm
get
not-
caught?
no,
You
I
knew you were
didn't
gonna
even
get
care.
caught? Like,
No, I was never paranoid. I just you get tired of the you're getting high. You just women and drugs, fighting with my wife. Got a good wife at home, chasing some old hood rat girls. Just you feel it on your body. You're a young man and you feel like you're 40 years old. But nobody can tell me nothing. You can't tell me I got a problem. Bitch, I make $200,000 a year and I'm 20-something years old. How can you tell me I got a problem? That's the mentality I had. It's not a problem. How can it be a problem? Because it's unconditional. There's no such thing as fiending, because if I fiend, I get it.
When
You
did
know
you
what I mean?
realize that living like that is not the way to live? You know what I mean?
not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
Definitely not soon enough. I'm saying I tell you, this gym has been one thing that it's really changed my life, man. That's serious. I wish I would have tried that 10 years ago. I always liked
Good
to fight.
output.
I've been in 100 fights in my life. Always loved to fight. If I would have just tried that shit 10 or 15 years ago, I think it could have even changed me then. And
Wasn't that big then, though. Boxing,
no, right. You're right. It wasn't that
I
big.
mean, it was
then.
coming around, but
right, but he could have gotten into something like
you're right,
that.
'cause I
yeah,
always
boxing,
watched it from
jits.
UFC #1. I've never missed them. I've always loved it and got into the shit, and never cared about fighting. Always fought. If I'd have just tried it 10 or 15 years ago, maybe I wouldn't have.
So
know,
you're putting all that energy into
something
MMA
else, man.
now.
Into something upright. MMA, working, family time, just
Working.
Well,
just
and he
everything
came
different.
he came to the gym for his kids, really,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Right,
At
right.
first,
Youth MMA.
no, they're old enough for the adults.
Okay.
Well, my kids did it in Cleveland too. So when we came here, I wanted to try to get them back in it, and I was just bored to death living on the farm, and I want my kids to see something positive. You know, not just hear about me fighting somebody in the bar, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Just not all the bullshit. Oh, your dad was the man in the hood. That's bullshit. I want them to see me as doing something positive, and they enjoy it. You know,
Yeah.
when they see me get in there and go, you know, Dad, them guys been doing that for a long time. You're doing good. It makes me feel good, man.
Right, right.
It's positive reinforcement.
And,
You know?
and you know, I didn't start soon enough. Only a few years ago, I started getting myself really starting to
Work out and stuff.
Just started getting myself out of the hole, getting my mind right. That was the first thing. Is I was like, just knew I had to get out of there.
So
that
you
was-
started a company that after you got out of prison.
No, yeah. I started the company, and then like I had money, so I would buy all the stuff, and then I'd have other people go to work. You know, I'd get in with somebody who's a contractor, and I was always good with business. I was always good managing money and stuff like that. So then I just started paying them to go to work, and then I started learning it myself, and actually enjoyed it. Like I enjoy the work, man. I bust ass, dude. I enjoy the work. I enjoyed when homeowners come out and be like, "Man, you guys bust ass." You know, you
And
like
you
to
get
hear
it
that,
done,
man.
get it done right,
get it
and-
done, and get it done right too. And just started really focusing on that, like really focusing on learning the whole thing, and just being a good boss with it, and
Can you
learning
build
people,
porches and decks.
porches and decks, all that. Yep.
And you have to take pride in your work, and you can't just go up and just throw it up there.
Right.
I mean, when I do it, I take pride in it because that's you. That's your name right there on that.
You should a good company should only have to run an ad for a little while, because after that it should all be word of mouth. And that's the thing. Once I worked for somebody one time, I don't want you to ever call nobody again. You know, if I did your roof and you're ever thinking about getting windows or siding, the first motherfucker you should think of is Toby.
Right.
If you're not, then I didn't do something
He
right.
did a great job,
Right.
and he told me he could do that stuff if I needed it.
And if they ain't calling you, you did something wrong. And
That's true. And
Reliable exterior home improvements.
reliable exterior home
The
improvements.
name says it all.
Name
Like,
says
this
it
is
all.
what I do.
That's right. What's
It's
the
on front
number?
of the card. 740-596-0256.
yes.
Reliable.
Third time's a charm. I knew I'd get it. When are we staying on to 11:30, or are we wrapping up at 11?
No, 11:30.
Okay. Just
At
making
least
sure.
I'm not done yet.
All right.
Yeah. We're
I feel
still-
like I'm in a fucking interrogation chair.
Yeah, no.
Start sweating. Oh God.
No, this is good. All right, but anyway, he came up they moved you moved
We
from
moved
West
from
Virginia.
That was my first move from Cleveland, and that's when my life really changed, man. It's like I just woke up, man, and I started getting back into that same cycle again. Me and my wife kind of separated a little bit. They was living in one house. I'd keep them in the suburbs. Even though whenever I sold to, that's another thing, is I'd keep a house in the suburbs. I'd keep my family in the suburbs. Since we was like 20, we always I'd try to keep them out of this stuff, and I just started falling back into the cycle. I did some real stupid stuff, and it could have been life changing. I could have did life in prison. It could have been real bad, and it was just like a slap in the face for me, real bad. Man.
And you're just like, what the fuck am I
What
doing?
the fuck am I doing, man? What the fuck am I doing? I'm 30 years old. And I got these kids. I mean, these people. What if I did something that could have hurt families? It was just really, it was a slap in the face, man. And I was just like, I'm leaving. I'm moving. And my wife I called her. She was like, yeah, right. She's been wanting to move. You know, she's no but wife wants to go through this shit.
Right.
She's like, yeah, right. And I said, let's go. We're going. And find a place. Let's go down. We had drove around there, found a place, and moved.
And that's how you found
That's how
Vinton County.
And then we moved from West Virginia. My family lives. I got a family in Jackson, so the storms hit here last year. So I put ads in the paper, and I got a lot of feedback, a lot of work. I just said, let's move down there, and that's how I got to Vinton County. We started riding around looking for a farmhouse. I wanted to get out of the
Pretty
city.
rural. It's hard
Oh,
to believe
shit.
that
Yeah.
responded so well out there, but maybe they're making them. You know, what I mean, obviously they're making improvements too. Everybody's making
Yeah,
improvements.
it was hard for them too, but I try to keep the little dirt bikes, 4-wheelers going. We get to go out and shoot the guns. They like that when we first got there. They loved that.
Yeah,
You
out
know,
in the
they never,
country.
they just go shoot the guns. You know, I tell them don't ever touch it without me. If you want to go shoot it, all you gotta do is ask me. So,
Yeah.
you know, fuck, you don't need to shoot with your friend. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
some idiot shit's gonna happen, dude. So you
That's
just
exactly
ask Dad
what'll
and we'll go
happen.
shoot our shit.
Got to keep your guns locked up and safe.
Right. But it ain't my guns. I'm worried about what if they go somewhere else with
Yeah.
somebody else's gun.
Right,
I want them
right.
to know you get the fuck out of here. You don't need their gun. You got your own gun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You're
No
going to be
go-
killing that swear jar whenever we
Oh,
get
yeah,
it. The
yeah.
swear jar. Get it in tonight. 'Cause
Well,
you're gonna
I
be
guess
killing
shouldn't
it.
be responsible. It'll be maybe between
No.
there's
Bring your wallet next time. You might be giving away some money. No, I couldn't put that on somebody because it's hard to watch. Sometimes you get talking about something passionate.
Yeah, that's
gonna
what I
slip
said.
out,
I
you
started
know?
feeling like I was in interrogation
Yeah.
chair. I started sweating.
No,
It's
so-
a story of redemption, so it's good. You know.
So he came in. You got the ads or whatever. You were getting response. You found a farmhouse,
Yeah.
and you're out in the country.
and we're just I wanted my kids to get back into fighting, and then we were looking around till we went to Jackson Jiu Jitsu first, and they wasn't about he just wasn't right. Like he was a rude person, and then we looked around, we found your gym, and I came and talked to you really about the kids, and then after thinking about it, I'm just like, you know what? I always thought I was a badass anyways. I'm just like, let's see, really, you know?
Right.
And just went there and tried it, dude. And I fucking love it. I love it. It's great.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so you did you find out if you were as did you think, oh man, like I'm not as good as I thought I would be? Did you think or did you did the technique stuff surprise you?
Right. Yeah. Hey, according what worst thing was my win for like the first 2 minutes. I was real good.
You're
I was the baddest man in the gym.
2 minutes, I'm great. See you in the second round.
right.
Right. Well, yeah. And the technique, and then you just start learning more and more, and the more you start learning, the more you want to come. Right? And then, I started coming 2 days a week or something, and then it's like, well, 3 days a week, and it's like, man, I don't want to fucking miss. Every time it's, I don't want to miss. And then
Right,
we started
right.
coming, and it's great.
That's what's cool is like, and it's that learning, like, man, like, when you learn stuff,
and you start to notice you learn it.
and it motivates you, and then it helps you to think. You can start thinking of other ways, and when it all starts coming together, that's when you get hooked.
When you start dreaming about it,
for
you
sure.
know you're fucking hooked, dude. When you're sitting at home and your wife's talking to you and you didn't hear a fucking word she said because you're thinking about how to get out of this arm bar or how that kid got you in a fucking triangle, and she's like, and then she tells you something later on, like, and you're like, what, really? She's like, motherfucker, I told you. You're like, oh,
Right,
yeah, that's
right.
when you know, like, yeah, I'm really enjoying this.
That's great. Yeah, it is a life-changing thing for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have been in your situation and got into mixed martial arts, and it changed their life. Because that's on your mind. That's on your mind. Not going out selling drugs or robbing somebody or any of that.
Whatever your cup of tea is, right? It's just switching it up. Like if nothing
You got to
changes, nothing
shift your
changes.
focus too.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
It's
man.
not all about money. You know what I mean? Now it's about being a role model for
Right.
your children. You know what I mean? That has taken over where money, used to be.
Right. There's so much I wish I could take back that my kids seen. I mean, so much more than they ever should have seen. And I'm saying it on the radio because it don't make me a bad father. You know what I mean? Everything I did, I always had the right intentions for my kids. I just didn't know better. That was the whole thing. I didn't know better. I thought that what I was doing was the right thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little smarter than I was, and I know it wasn't the right thing, so I'm trying to show them the right thing instead of just telling them. That's what I always did before. I was just
Right.
telling them. I'm telling you what to do. You don't do what I do. You do what the fuck I tell you
Yeah,
to do.
do as I say, not as I do.
Right, but that's not it.
But they see what you do, and they want to be like dad or
yeah.
something.
And then it's time to switch it up.
I mean, that's what you saw, and then you wanted to be like that.
wanted to be
They're
like
gonna
that.
want to be what they
I
see.
never wanted to be nothing. If you'd asked me when I was 10 years old, what do you want to be? I'd have told you a gangster. That's all I want to be. That's it. I don't know.
My dad did construction, and that's what I wanted to
what you
be.
wanted to
That's what I
do.
wanted to be, and I did it. And I don't freaking like it. Like, I mean, I can do it. I'm good at a lot of construction stuff, but I don't. That doesn't make me as happy as
I love
what
it.
I do
See,
with
I
mixed
love it,
martial
man.
arts, and it's fun. I mean, I did some like the drive it, the synthetic stucco with the foam insulation stuff and all that, and that's fun because you can be creative with it sometimes and make different patterns and
I
whatnot.
did some concrete work with my stepdad before. It sucks. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
how he does
Yeah,
it.
laying it's not too bad. It's getting up the old stuff that it sucks. I do a little concrete work too.
Well, it's hard on the knees if you're a finisher.
Oh yeah, it is.
I would
My
always
sister works for a nice, good size concrete company, and she does all the highway bridges.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
She's
she's one of the
union, yeah.
only female finishers in Ohio that work for the company. It's pretty. They get paid good now.
Oh yeah, she's at $30 an hour.
Yeah.
I know that's what they're at, 30, 32. That's union.
Yeah.
They're up there. They're
Yeah.
up there. Unless you're new, then you still even starting off you're like $18 an
Yeah,
hour.
getting buckets and
Right.
go grab me that.
Right, that's $18.
No, the flat one. The flat one. It's next to that. Look to your left.
And $18 an hour, you could send me around that bucket
Oh,
20
yeah.
times if I was new.
I'll go find
You know, sometimes you
That's
get the new guy telling me what the left-handed hammer.
yeah.
If you're on my crew and you're telling the new guy to get a left-handed hammer, you better pay his fucking wages. I want him to get straight to the fucking place he needs to be and get back on the
Yeah.
roof.
Yeah.
Don't have him running
It's
around
funny
looking
'cause
for
they
something
say,
that
like,
ain't there.
$250,000 a year is like middle class. Is
Wow.
they say.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take
Middle
it.
class. Look.
I'll take it.
Wow.
If I had 60 grand a year, I'd be loving life. You got to be frugal whenever you ain't got a lot of money.
Right. So you have 7 kids. Is it true, like on taxes, you can only claim 2 of them to deduct?
Yeah, but there's also 2 of us. You know, you can do different things where I pay her. You know, she works.
Okay,
See, my wife works for me. Works for the company. It ain't directly me, actually.
Secretary.
It's a company.
Right.
I work for the company. She works for the company. She
Right.
can claim 2 kids. I can claim 2 kids. So even though, okay, you might have brought in 70 grand a year or something, after I pay her 30 grand a year, I only brought in 40 grand a year. When you got that many kids, you can still bring home some money.
How do you
Right.
feel about they're going to add a new state tax to any service? That's probably you. You
know,
already pay taxes?
No, and I don't charge taxes.
You will be.
No, like sales tax, right?
Yeah.
I don't charge sale tax.
You will be.
I don't. Whatever price I give you, that's the price.
Yeah, I don't see how that. Yeah.
Someone's going to be paying it. They're going to increase
Well, it's gonna have
for
to-
service charge. Any haircuts,
But he's
plumbing
doing a
work,
whole job.
doesn't matter.
Like,
I've tried. Honestly, I've tried that, and in the home improvements business, it doesn't work too well. Like when you give somebody a price, that's like I've tried it twice. Like, okay, this is what it is.
You're gonna
and this
have
is
to
what
eat it
taxes, and this is how much it is after taxes. And like I've had homeowners like, what do you mean taxes on home improvement? I've never been taxed before.
yeah.
And that's what made me go away from it.
Well, you
'Cause-
just show them the article where the governor wants to make it a law that you're going to get taxed
Basically,
for
he
this service.
just-
Or
You know,
you'll
but-
have
but-
to eat it.
right.
Yeah.
Or-
Somebody's going to pay the state.
He'll have to pay.
Yeah.
right.
Am I too loud?
But just
But
it
with
was a
all
little, yeah, a little
I'm
loud.
shouting into the mic.
With all
Yeah.
the kids I got,
Step
we
back
usually
a
don't
sec.
pay nothing anyways. I mean, most of the time we even get money back. So
It's a lot of kids. Is there some kind of assistance the government gives if you have over 5 kids or something like
no,
that?
not unless you apply. Like we get medical, which is sweet, dude. 'Cause if I had to pay for medical, it would be
Right,
freaking
right.
ridiculous. But yeah, nothing. You don't want to do nothing else. But when you're making money, dude, you'll have them people come at you. You know what I mean? You try to lie and get something, and they're gonna come get your ass. They're gonna figure it out sooner or later.
All right.
Taxes. Pay 'em.
So he started coming to the gym, and then you actually competed in a tournament, right?
Yeah, yeah. Got my ass kicked by 17, 18-year-old
This
kids.
guy said you can deduct 9 kids if you want. I don't know if he knows that for sure, but
Yeah, well, you can deduct as many as you want, but they're only going to give you. Okay, they'll take less taxes off. Like if you're making a whole lot of money, then the more kids you claim, the less you're going to have to pay in. Well, I'm only making a minimum amount of money, so I'm getting money back anyways. Yeah. So you're only going to get money back for 2 kids. Like I'm saying, like you claim that kid, they're going to give you $1,000 for each kid. Now you can't say, well, I got 7 kids, and they'll be like, oh, well, we'll give you $7,000. No, the maximum thing you can claim, the maximum is 2. They'll give you $1,000 for each kid, up to 2 kids. You can't say I got 9 kids and they'll give you $9,000. It won't.
That just ain't working.
Yeah, no.
All right. Just a reminder, people that are tuning in to Blue Wall Podcast, I am Jeremy Kitts with Deke Deacon and Toby Bouska.
Sweet. Got it
I
right.
got you. I told you I'd get it. Bouska.
Boshka.
Bohemian. Bouska. And we're just talking to Toby about his life, his turnaround, and how much he enjoyed this mixed martial arts, and got submitted in his first tournament by a 17, 18-year-old kid.
Well, there's some 17,
But-
18-year-olds.
Well, he
strong.
did look like the Incredible Hulk. He was
Yeah.
a little
Like
ripped up.
they're
fucker.
putting steroids in his Wheaties, like something.
Kids are ridiculous.
But it was like your first kind of competition to do ever, right?
Right. I
was-
just he couldn't get me next time. I guarantee that.
Right, but you learned from it.
I learned from
and,
it. And next day we went to the gym. You showed me how to chuck up out of the triangle, and from now on I'll chuck his ass up out the triangle.
Right.
But I learned from
Right,
it because
but-
I didn't even know. Me being dumb, like when the kid was putting it on me, I didn't think he was strong enough to even get it. Even though he's cocky, I was like putting him wherever I wanted to in the ring. I was having my way with him.
Until he didn't want you to. Then he was like,
He didn't have the man strength. And then even after he put it on me, up until the point where I was almost falling out, I didn't even know that he had it. Like I didn't think I'd never been put on me in the gym in practice. So I just didn't know until I felt myself like really go down. And then I knew okay, he's got something on me, and then
Yeah.
I tapped out. And then went to the gym the next
and
day.
then
I
you're like, oh,
learned
that shit ain't gonna happen
No,
again.
that
I'd
ain't gonna
say, you know
happen
what you got to
again.
do now.
Yeah.
Work harder.
Right, but that's how you learn.
Yeah.
You know, you got it.
Tapped out.
It's like a tournament or a competition is like the spelling bee on Friday in school. You practice all week to try to spell the words right, and then you're like, oh, I didn't get that. I got to work on my I before E shit or something. You know,
Sweet. As soon as I was done, I couldn't wait for the next one. It was sweet. It was
Right.
It was fun. It was a good experience to get in the ring.
it
and
hooked you
try it.
more.
Yeah.
Hooked you
Good
more.
adrenaline rush.
And then that's when it's in your head, right?
Right.
That's when it's like, it's,
You're thinking all the time,
like,
what you're
man.
gonna do in this predicament? What are you,
You
gonna
want to
do
know
in
what's
this one?
really nice? Like a full-on cage fight. I mean, that's
Oh, for
pretty.
sure.
Your adrenaline rush and your focus is like almost never the same at anything else you're going to do in life.
yeah.
Like to be that focused
When
on
your
one
ass
thing.
is on the line.
Yeah. Your adrenaline and you get pumped. It's a addictive feeling.
It is a crazy feeling.
Yeah. I like it. I usually just get real silent and calm and focused. Like it's real nervous leading up to a fight, but once you get in the fight, it's go
Like
time.
once you're going in there, like, and that becomes, and you're in that moment you have to be in that moment.
Your reality went from everything in the world
to right here,
to that cage.
right into that cage, and that's it. That's all that matters right now. Like, and that's just like, it's
pretty-
sucked right in.
Yeah, it's pretty freeing though. It feels good. Like,
I can't wait. I can't wait.
hey, but train. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know why?
He trains.
Yeah.
He comes at pretty much 3 days a week.
Yeah, for a while we wasn't missing none. We were coming. I was coming Saturday, Friday, Wednesday, and Monday.
That's
Stay
4
focused.
4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay focused.
Now we got the
Got to.
Tuesdays going. That's good.
Yep.
Like the competition is getting so good right now in MMA.
Oh yeah.
You got to be on your even to aim like whenever I fought amateur, there was a couple good guys coming through there, but there's a lot of garbage too. You still go down in Texas or Kentucky and fight like before they were even keeping records. It's just like challenge fight. I
You
want
want to fight him? You and you? All right. What's your name? Step on the scale.
That's what we done in the local pubs.
150.
That's like something.
You're 150. You're 185. All right. Sounds good. That's close. Sign here.
But now
you're
the
fighting.
game has risen. Like, oh, you've been training since you were 14? Okay.
Right.
Jeez,
You're a
dude.
professional at
Been training
21.
since
Yeah,
you were
then
8.
22, you're a pro. That's
Right.
that's why I got my kids trained. I want them to be a pro at 22, 23 years old. And that's
And they could. They have talent for sure.
any kid that goes and puts their
Puts the
mind
work
to it
in.
and puts
Yeah,
the
you gotta
work
put
in,
the
they
work
can
in.
learn. That's
Right. Yeah.
And you can't be scared to get punched in your face, Drew.
We're talking to you, Drew. We're gonna tell you to watch in. I'm tagging you in this post. You're pretty, but it's okay to get punched in the face.
It is.
Drew's
It's
someone
weird.
that's in our gym, and he said he didn't want to go to Tough Man because he doesn't want to get punched in the face.
It's weird getting punched in the face. How sometimes it doesn't hurt that bad at all, but then all of a sudden one will just knock you out. Like, man, that was horrible. It went from not being so bad to getting totally like.
But after you
knocked
get
out.
punched a few times, after after you lose a few fights, you win some fights, you lose some. Then the pride thing, you're not so worried about, oh, am I going to lose? What is people going to think? What if I get knocked out, or what if this happens? I'm gonna go in there and give it my all. If I lose, I've been it's a cage. I've been in plenty of fights. Only difference is now you're in the cage.
You can't win them all. That is a fact of life.
No, you ain't gonna win them all. No, that's yeah.
If you're good enough, you can win a whole bunch of them. A lot.
Yeah,
But there's going to be one. Somebody's going to catch you on the button. I've seen all GSP Matt Serra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Serra caught GSP on the button and continued to hit him.
Anderson Silva. Chael Sonnen. Anderson Silva lost all 5 rounds to the last 30 seconds of the 5th round.
Yeah. Chael Sonnen wasn't fighting very smart. He should have just been dancing around that last 5th round.
And that's 5 rounds. That's 5 rounds. They were tired. It's good. It's good to lay on someone and grind them out, I guess, after 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Well, isn't every Street Fighter undefeated?
Not me. No, I'll be honest. I've probably been in a lot. 60, 70 fights. And no, I'm not undefeated.
They're always 60, 70, and 0.
Not me. I won't lie. I don't. Yeah.
Like, it's never like 23, 53, 57, like it's 50, 60, 100. It's always an even number for some reason, and it's always undefeated. Usually. Well, not always.
At about 150.
Yeah. I wish I could say I've never been beat up. That would be sweet. But I've had my share of ass whoopings, that's for damn sure. Well, I'm a little guy too, man. So you can't pick your fights. You got to fight whoever
right.
starts to fight with you.
Yeah. Man, speaking of fighters, he's not really a fighter. This is the real stuff. Ric Flair's son, man. Did you guys see that in the paper? Or on Yahoo?
No.
Reed Flair. I guess it says his fighting name was Reed Flair too, so he must have got in the family business. You guys know who Ric Flair is? Everybody watch wrestling when they were young?
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Woo!
Do the strut.
Oh, did we let everybody know that it is an 18 and over again? I mean, if you didn't tune in at the beginning, it's not my fault, and your kids are watching. This is an 18 and over. Like, put them to bed.
No, I don't think there's any kids watching.
Blue Wall. Couldn't you get the clue?
I don't know. Blue Wall. That sounds pretty.
Yeah, when the first thing that comes to your mind is, what the fuck? Like, right? Shut it. Put your kids to bed.
Well, we picked up some more followers somehow during tonight.
No,
At
the
least
guy.
2 or 3.
What were you saying about the what?
Ric Flair's son, Reed Flair, died 25 years old in a Charlotte, North Carolina motel room. They got a call that he was unresponsive, and when they got there, he was dead.
25 years old, huh?
25. They say they don't know what it's from. It doesn't look like foul play, but this was the 29th yesterday. So, there's still probably a whole lot of detective work that needs to go on, if any. It sounds fairly suspicious, but maybe he's got heart problems. He could have been anything.
Yeah.
I didn't read into their article very good. Somebody said blue balls.
Yeah, that's what comes to mind.
That's been an ongoing debate because my sister said the same thing. Like, I put it in, I'm not finding it. I said, blue wall, you're not finding it? It should pop right up. She's like, oh, I put in blue balls. Like,
I put in blue ball confessions.
Yeah, you're not going to find it. You're going to find something totally different at blue ball confessions. That's definitely not child appropriate.
So they haven't released no foul play suspected,
no blood
but
work, but it seems like he wasn't strangled or
like he might have been on. Do you think he might have been doing drugs or just could have had a heart attack?
possibly, but yeah, it could have been a stroke, a heart attack.
Yeah, he's
I
25
think-
years
yeah,
old. The
yeah.
possibilities are pretty slim. He's probably that's.
If he's got a arrhythmia, I mean, there's things that
Who
affect.
was,
Well, if I was to call it, I would say it's an overdose. At 25, you're in a hotel room and get found dead.
What about Sean Tompkins, the UFC? He trained UFC fighters. Sean Tompkins, right? He died at 30, 31 of a heart attack.
No, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I'm just
I'm
saying
gonna give
that
the man a benefit of the doubt for now, but you're right. At 25 and alone
hotel
in a
room,
hotel
25
room.
years old.
What I want to know
yeah.
who was
No-
in the hotel room
no
with him
struggling.
before the night before. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. There'd be more coming out, sure.
I'm sure there will be. You see what unfolded down there with that rape case?
The Steubenville?
Steubenville. Yeah.
No.
No.
The two kids, they got sentenced to 2 years each, and then they may have to do some more time. But I mean, they got off. I think they got off fairly easy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they
got
got
off
to
real
register
easy.
as sex offender for the rest of their life.
Yeah, they got off real easy. That's
That was they were posting a video of it.
Um,
of the girl drunk, passed out, and I mean,
Yeah.
that's-
Some people wonder if it ever would have been found out if they weren't so arrogant to be taking pictures of this. I mean, rape is foul, man. I think it's
Oh
a
my
foul
God,
thing. You know.
There's nothing under that. Or what child
And they're
molester
laughing,
Yeah.
making a mockery of it.
And then it's no big
Yeah,
deal.
and you got kids. You sit and wonder. Honestly, if that was my daughter, I don't think there's nothing that could control me from knocking on your parents' door and putting your brains on their wall. Nothing can control me to stop me from doing
Yeah.
that. You wouldn't have to worry about prison at all. If you did something like that to my daughter, prison would be the last thing you have to worry.
And there were other kids that knew it was going on. They were taking her to several parties or something like that. A couple parties. I don't know. A few.
I did hear something about that too.
And the other kids knew, hey, we got the chick, we're bringing her in. And
What do you mean?
they knew that these boys were what they were doing.
What was they doing? Drugging her?
They had her drunk or drugged or something and took her to parties, pretty much passed out.
all in one night. You're saying though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this
No.
happened a few times, and maybe it's
No, one
all
night.
in one night, huh?
I'm pretty certain. I could
So-
be mistaken, but
Because if it happened over a few times, then you start to, point your finger at the girl too. How many times you gonna black out at a party with these people?
right, yeah, yeah. No, they probably gave her a roofie or whatever. I don't know.
Harold Alt says he was snorting whiskey and drinking cocaine.
Yeah.
This guy, we got 10,000 comedians out of work. This guy's trying to be one. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's funny. You are in a world of hurt if you are snorting whiskey. Ugh.
Yeah, that sounds like one hell of a party.
Yeah, definitely.
That's horrible.
I snorted drywall one time.
Oh my god!
you're
For
disgusting.
what, dude?
I was 18 and fucking retarded.
Someone dare you or something?
Yeah, kind of. And it was yeah, I'll do it. They probably didn't even dare me. I probably was just
Watch
Watch
this.
do you dare me to do this?
He double dare me.
Do you double dog dare me to snort this line of drywall, crumbled up dust? And
That can't be good.
and no, fuck no.
No.
And my eye was twitching and it was I was like, oh, why did I do this? Why I'm gonna go out like this? 18 years old, I snorted a line of drywall, and that's it. And I didn't do any. I never snorted a thing in my life.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was doing pills all the time up my nose, and I was gonna do some drywall too. No, I don't know
I heard
what the
this one-
fuck I was thinking.
I heard this on YouTube. You know?
Yeah. I wonder if drywall can get me high. No, it just burned really bad, and it made my eye all. And maybe that's why I never wanted.
You should know better at that age.
Yeah, I was just what I'm like. I thought he 13, 14, maybe, but he said 18 years old.
I was
You should get
18.
smacked in your what are you doing?
Exactly. And then all the older guys around oh, look at that dumbass. And I'm like, yeah, oh, it's all fucked up.
Look at me. Give me attention.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
I feel for old Ric Flair though, man. I watched him a lot when I was a kid.
I mean, he outlived his son.
Oh, it's
that's
horrible.
gotta suck.
Is he
never
still
wanna
alive,
do
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's still
he's still wrestling. Yeah,
Why he's still wrestling?
yeah,
he's
he
like-
is like 60 years old though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
You can see like he's old.
Oh
but-
yeah, right. He ain't. He's looking old. He's
There's guys that fought MMA fights at 60.
Dude, my dad plays softball. Like he's big in it, been in it his whole life, and he says they got 80 and over league. 80 and over league.
80 and over
80
league
and over
softball.
league softball. For sure, no bullshit.
There
80
was
and
a
over.
lady on Jay Leno last night, 105 years old, and her name, I don't even remember her name. I was watching
on
it.
Jay
though.
Leno.
Yeah, and
I don't have
she,
cable. I'm poor.
105 years old, and she looked like 70 or something. Like she, you know what I mean? She talked well. She looked good, like, you know, like 70 or something.
They say the first man to live to 150 is alive today.
What? He already did?
150.
Yeah.
And they think he's 150?
No, he's alive today. He'll live to be 100.
Oh, it's like a
Oh,
prophet or
oh.
something?
You
No, just our science is getting good, you know? They're growing ears and growing.
Really?
They're trying to grow hearts.
Oh, I think that it's me.
Why ain't it?
I think it is me.
I don't want it to be me. God, please. No,
What
I
if
don't.
you could keep your youth and vitality?
Well, yeah.
But then everybody else around you, you're gonna see all the. No, I'm good. I don't want to see. I don't want to watch. I don't want to bury none of my kids. I don't want to do none of that.
Well, they're gonna live longer than you.
If everybody could live that long,
Yeah.
oh sweet, let's get it. But then where's everybody gonna fit? You know,
Somebody,
Yeah, right.
somebody.
Start-
Oh, what do you mean? Where are we gonna fit? We got a whole space above us with many other planets we can go to. Go to the moon. All you got to do is build a dome above you. We
We're
We're
can
just
do
going to
that.
put him on the dome on the
that's
moon.
all we gotta do.
Oh, that could be prison. The
Yeah,
moon
that's
is
not
prison.
Ah, come on,
Well,
man.
fuck
What,
it
you got
now.
some side,
don't-
you've been watching a movie.
I'm
or
not
something?
going back, so I don't give a shit. Sit on the moon.
Well, I mean, if we need room down here, don't send the good people to.
Why? Why wouldn't you want to? You can
Well,
do things out in space.
I don't think you'd be confined inside. You would be like a prison. So just might as well make it a prison.
I mean, if
You couldn't
could,
go outside.
What if you could make a ship big enough to have outside?
What do you mean? It would have grass in it and like.
When you're in space, you can move large.
It's coffee break.
You can move large, like massive amounts of like heavy material, like with minimal effort. So you can build humongous.
Just make a huge
structures.
like little biodome.
Yeah.
It's gonna have like a.
Spin it so you got centrifugal force with your artificial gravity. That's the easiest way I think to make artificial.
How would you
gravity.
spin it?
With a motor.
Like
could-
motor, like
You know how-
jetpacks.
You know, have it on like a magnetic, like a mag track train. Like just have it magnetic where it's not touching anywhere and it's spinning inside of it. And once you get it started, it should spin for. I mean, there's less friction because it's in the mag and there's not gravity slowing it down. It should. Well, it may like slow it down a little bit, but you could just go out there and light a bottle rocket, start it spinning, it'd spin forever. I don't know about forever. That's a pretty long time, but it's been for a long time with just minimal effort.
Right, because there's no. It's in space. It's.
And then you'd be stuck against the wall, like the inside of the
But if you-
gravitron.
If you're making something that big, then it would take a lot of force to spin it that fast. Even in space.
You wouldn't. You would think so, but you
What
know.
are you talking? How big? Like if you're gonna make it like it's outside?
Oh, a ridiculous big.
Would it
large
be?
amount.
It would be
An
out of the
eighth.
atmosphere though. It wouldn't be in the atmosphere.
No, it'd be. You could send it out in space. It's a ship, an eighth of the size of the moon.
Okay. I don't know how big the moon is, but that's gonna be big. I know.
Yeah, you could hold several.
Like Rhode Island,
hundred-
maybe or
Probably
something.
bigger than Rhode Island. An eighth of the size of the moon. That's a nice sized chunk,
Right.
and you just you could live in it. I
Oh,
guarantee
an
it.
eighth of the size of the moon would be bigger than Rhode Island.
Would it?
The moon
I don't
is
know.
huge.
The moon's huge, but
Then you just throw
it's
it,
like
you throw
the
it out in
moon and the
space
earth.
towards something else, and when you get there, we'll spread. It'll be like a little human spore, We're just throwing it through space, and it hits a planet, and you go off and live.
They finally. Okay, how would they get oxygen?
You have plants. You have grass. You have hemp. You grow hemp. You
Grow
build
hemp.
everything out of hemp.
Sweet. Sign me up. I'm there.
The most versatile plant in the world. Is it the most versatile plant in the world?
I don't know. According to Biodome, it gives
More
it
oxygen?
photosynthesizes faster, so it releases more oxygen. Like I think
The movie Biodome?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Pauly Shore,
And
one of the oh man, what's his name? He was also.
I don't know who the other guy was.
He played a small part in Half Baked too.
In Half Baked?
He was a Baldwin. I think maybe Alec Baldwin.
No, not Alec.
It wasn't Billy for sure. But yeah, classy movie, real classy. If you haven't seen Biodome, see it.
I did see it. I haven't seen
You haven't seen it? Oh, it's funny. There are a couple stoners that get stuck in a biodome where you try to live and with keeping the outside world out, and they just set the place. It's a disaster, but it's funny. It's a stoner movie.
It was a Baldwin. It
Billy
looks
Baldwin?
like hold on.
It's got to be Billy.
He had like little dreadlocks.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, Stephen Baldwin.
Stephen Baldwin.
Yes, and Biodome and Pauly Shore.
Hilarious.
They had like a little dome of an environment. So it photosynthesizes faster, so it's gonna put off more oxygen,
Yeah.
and that's your oxygen that you breathe. It would put off that much, you think?
If you had enough of it.
How much would you have to have, and could you make your dome
Depends
big
on
enough?
how many people you had. You'd have to
Yeah.
have quite a few of them.
Are they thinking of this, or do we need to go to fucking NASA and tell them what's up?
I'm sure somebody is. I'm sure somebody's thought
Don't worry,
of
they'll
this.
be calling you. They're listening.
Yeah, they're gonna finally be like, "Oh, this is fucking genius.
No.
Why didn't we think about this in 1966?"
There's nothing genius about building a big thing and putting people in it in space. It's just the logistics of making that happen. You gotta invest a lot. You know what I mean? To get the equipment into space first of all.
They are saying, the guy that owns Virgin Mobile, he's trying to get it where he can put people in space for $1 million.
Oh,
He-
yeah.
Doesn't he own an
SpaceX or
island?
something like that?
He owns his own
He owns a
island or
whole lot
something
of
like
shit.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
he's
lot-
got
he's
big
pretty
money,
rich.
man.
$1 million
Pretty
to
rich.
go
No,
to
I think
space.
he's like top
There's
10 or
a,
something.
Didn't
There's a couple companies that are involved privately in getting things to space, like SpaceX, and there's another one that wants to do.
He's trying to get people there for $1 million.
didn't Michael
Trying to get enough
Jackson
of
already
them.
pay for his ticket before he died? He paid for his ticket to space to somebody that was going to do that, but they needed
It was probably him because the guy. That's what I'm saying. I think he's taking payments like you can pay to go to space or something. It's like
Take
$1 million.
payments now, and then he's
Probably
going to get
just
enough
to
money
the
and
edge
do
of
it.
I don't know.
No,
They
he's
get
putting
you all the
him-
way in space, so
I
you
mean,
can really sit.
I want
back
to
and
loop
look
the
at-
moon and back if I go
Oh,
to
man,
space.
That's a long trip, dude. That's not a short jump.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You're
if I
talking
pay $1
about-
million,
But I'm in a spaceship, though.
pay $1 million, it better
$1 million
at least a
ain't that
week,
much.
right?
But no, it's not one person though. Neither it ain't like
Yeah,
you on your own
10 at a
spaceship.
time.
Yeah, you
Right.
got right.
But to the moon and back is a lot different to space and back.
But space and back, big deal. An airplane can almost do that.
Big deal. How many
No,
people have
I
been to
know,
space?
but for $1 million, like I want to
$1
go up
million is
and
not
get
a
a
lot.
close up of the moon at least.
you
Like
can
a
buy
little
a
close.
car that costs more than $1 million.
Halfway to the moon?
Is it to the moon?
I don't
No,
know.
I guarantee
Is
it's-
it?
I guarantee it's not to the moon. I guarantee it's just up in space, just enough right outside the atmosphere.
For how long?
Probably
No. I think he's talking about taking you there. You're gonna get off. You're gonna get off and check stuff out.
At the moon?
I don't somewhere. I don't know. For $1 million, what you're just gonna fly in a spaceship and come back down for $1 million?
Maybe.
That's quite
I
the
mean, I would at
experience
least
if
want to
you had
go.
that much,
I would at least want to go and get at least halfway closer to the moon.
so you can look back
From
and see
it-
all of Earth.
Yeah. That's the cool part.
I
Is
want to
seeing
park
Earth.
this thing and get out and check something out.
You have to go to the moon to park it anywhere. That's the closest thing.
Right. So that
Yeah, if I'm paying $1 million, I want to touch the moon. But looking back and seeing Earth would be a cool thing.
Listen, I got the internet. I'm gonna find out about this space program. So we're gonna have some facts here.
what is his name? I'm gonna try to think
Space
of his name so I
tourism.
The Virgin Mobile guy.
yeah.
Richard Branson,
Richard Branson, there it is, bam.
the non-governmental space flight, private space flight, commercialized space flight. Apparently, there's a pretty big industry around space flight.
Is there?
Yeah. A guy paid you can have, 20 to 35 million during the periods of 2001 and 2009. Some space tourists have signed contracts with third party and parties to conduct certain research activities while in orbit. So you can pay people to take stuff to space for you too, basically.
What are you going to take to space?
What good is it gonna? What do you
See how
The
plans-
government's
you want,
hiring
like,
them?
You want to carve your name in a rock, like you're.
Well,
I mean, what is?
If you want to take stuff to space, like you want to see how a certain plant grows in space. Like, well, how does a plant grow without gravity? How does a mice grow? How do your bones react to not having gravity? How does your blood pump without having gravity?
yeah, you-
Gravity is a big part of your circulatory system.
So a big company that wants to know something, or a big researcher, medical
Yeah.
researcher, or something.
It's like FedEx, but SpaceX. That's
Well,
what it
I
is.
mean, it's just a big laboratory up there. So I mean,
Oh, they
that's
send
what
it to like a
seems
laboratory. They like a space station they have up there.
What we probably want is private space flight.
Well, probably, and yeah, why don't? Yeah, I wonder how much it costs to send something to space.
I know the Russians. What? That was a fairly long time ago. That guy bought that trip up to the Mir, right? I mean, that's been since
To the
90s.
space station,
Yeah, he paid for it.
and he stayed there.
Yeah, he stayed there for a while and then came back down. Like,
Yeah,
he
that's-
paid a lot though. I think that's he paid like 10
When you
million,
come
20
back out
million.
of space, do you think you have to like out of the water do like the decompression chamber? Do you have to do something
Well,
coming out
you
of
gotta
space?
work out heavily when you're in space because your bone density will.
Right,
Your bones will
and
go soft because they're not supporting your weight with gravity. You know, what I mean, your body reacts to the situation that it's in. If you kick a stump a million times, you're gonna have hard ass legs. You know what I mean? If
right.
you're out in space and nothing's affecting your bones, they're gonna get. They don't need to be that strong, so they're gonna weaken. It's just more efficient that way.
Yeah.
It's efficient for your body. If you don't need to burn that energy doing that.
So you gotta like, and then instead of squatting like 50 pounds, you could be squatting 200 pounds or something.
I mean,
up there.
there's nothing really weight. I think a lot
Resistance
of it is
bands.
Yeah, resistance bands, bicycles. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. as
Right,
opposed to, like,
right.
heavy weight. Heavy weight's
Just
nothing
working
in
it though,
space. Yeah,
working those muscles.
killing it. But yeah, I know you can go up and fly just out of reach, and I think that costs $1 million. I think that's the cheap trick, or the cheap one, the trip, just out of space and then back down.
Right.
To go to the moon, I bet you'd have to pay $20-30 million, at least.
You think
Probably more than that. I mean, that's probably way off that estimate.
20-30 million dollars? You think you're way low?
Yeah, I think I'm.
I think
low.
$1 million should be able to get you to the moon if there's 10
No,
people on the
man.
trip.
I mean, 10 or more probably. They're probably even thinking of more than 10 people.
Yeah, like 20.
You know, it's a spaceship.
$20
I'm
million
you can get a good amount of people on there, build it as big as you want.
Right.
That's
100
why I think nobody did it yet. They're probably going to get it before they go. Get enough people where it's going to. There's got to be a significant amount of money to get there and do that.
It says that
Right.
space transport business is $100 billion a year business.
$100 billion a year.
But has anybody they've done it? You're saying?
Yeah, there's private companies making money off of it.
But have they done it yet? Has anybody went to space and came back yet off of one of them companies?
No, I think right now they're just doing
They're just taking money right now. Huh?
transport. No, they're just sending up supplies, food, restock. Maybe they have taken up people. I think maybe they have
Up to the
recently.
station and
Yeah,
stuff.
I bet they have.
I don't mean like just a NASA.
Most of their
people.
trips is just resupply pods. You're just sending up a pod of food, oxygen, tools, games. stuff like that. You know, but yeah, I mean, it's got to get up there.
It's a market.
It's $100 billion market. You know?
Yeah.
Seems like
They're paying $100 billion to
there's
get
only
something up
Yeah,
there.
there's only 2 companies doing it. You know,
$100 billion to get something sent up there.
not each time, like annually. It's what's going into it.
Oh, they're making
there's
that.
$100 billion to be made.
Wow.
This big company is only making $3 billion a year, but
Wow.
$3 billion a year is pretty good.
Right.
So
real good.
$100 billion must be what all countries are putting into, like China has a space program, India.
Right.
You know what I mean? Several people have their own. Russia,
Dang.
of course. The commercial space station. What if they did this? They just took you up and put you in a space hotel room for the night, brought you back down the next day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you're
$5
talking
million,
about?
right?
So this emerging personal space flight. This would probably be more of that. You go up, you look around in this crazy airplane. Yeah, 3-person cabin. It looks like a missile.
That they're flying up in.
Yeah, they're putting you in a missile and just sending you out. This is the one that won the X Prize, and Richard Branson. This is the Virgin Mobile stuff. The White Knight 2 and Spaceship 2 is the name of the airplanes. What's this one?
Spaceship
2.
Somebody already tried Spaceship 1. It was already taken.
It was already taken on GoDaddy.
Freaking
so.
SpaceX used Spaceship 1, so we got to use Spaceship 2. All right, we have anything going on locally coming up? We ready to end this?
I think we are, man. It's getting late. I had a big day of Easter egg hunting and eating all day. It was fantastic. I love when my family gets together. We do
Just
eat,
chow
hang
down
out, and
and-
tell stories. It's the best, man.
Yes, and summer's coming, man. I love
Oh,
grilling out.
man. Beautiful day today. It was nice out.
Yeah,
Hey, summer, get the doors open. You know what I mean?
yeah. In our
You could
secret
do it down
studio,
here.
nobody knows where we're at.
You should change your. You should change it around in here. Move that over here and move this again. Oh no, you still need to get out over there, but you could make it in a way where you can still get around it. Open it up. You can have fans out there.
Yeah,
At some point, there's going to be fans of the show that would come to a
a live
party. Yeah,
Oh,
a live
party,
party. You know what I
or-
mean? We have you know what I mean? They do it in front of Good Morning America.
Yeah, they have a party
Like,
like,
Good
hey,
Morning America.
hey
It's
Al,
outside.
you go out there and tell them the weather outside.
I got Chillicothe weather. You know what I mean? I got weather.com. I can find out the weather anywhere. It's not that hard anymore. You don't got to go to school for it. You just get it off the internet. So I'm sure I could do that. But yeah, live audience. They could make fun of us right here instead of making comments.
Right, yeah, right there live. May 19th, Yoctangi Park, Chillicothe, Ohio. 1 to 4 p.m. The Cystic Fibrosis Walk, Strides for Stacy. Follow that up. Before that, April 20th in Circleville at Gibby's, 121 West Main Street. There is it's stand up to cystic fibrosis. Michael Moore and Ace Allen, stand up comedians. It opens at 6. It starts at 7. $15 minimum donation. You get a buffet dinner along with the funny stuff. The Earth Gathering is also that day at Yoctangi Park from 11 to 7.
Where is that Earth Gathering pamphlet?
I don't know what happened to it.
We are off our game on that one.
There's a lot of bands. There's like 7 bands, 8 bands.
It's going to be a lot of bands. And some
All
of them
day
looks
long.
Pretty nice. Jazzy. There's there's a good mix of bands.
Yeah, all day long, gathering around the Earth, and then going and watch some funny shit at Gibby's.
I'm sure
in
there'll
the
be
evening.
little booths set up for selling things. There'll probably be fair food. I mean, maybe all natural food would be a good time for that
Yeah.
store right there on Water Street.
They're gonna have vendors, like
Support-
local handmade crafts and stuff like that.
You guys gotta support a local business. You gotta like that. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
I donated to help with it for my gym.
Awesome.
Chillicothe Academy of Mixed Martial Arts is a proud sponsor of the Earth Gathering.
Did they put your name on something?
Yes. On the flyer thing, the like pamphlet.
The one that you had, and now you don't.
Well, not that one. The one that, like it's a like a brochure type pamphlet.
Yeah.
It's on that. It might have been on that one that we had. Actually, I didn't look. I don't know what happened to it. It was a nice little flyer.
That's awesome.
That's why I
should've
brought
done
it
that.
here.
I'd like to have my name in a pamphlet
Yeah.
for Earth Day. I do holistic work, massage therapy. That's holistic.
Yeah. Why don't you should go down with your table and set up a tent and do some massages.
Yeah, it seems kind of seedy, but I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Shit, if it's bringing in money.
Yeah.
You should do massages at the
chair
flea market.
massage. That's where it's at. An event like that, 15-minute chair massage.
Yeah.
You don't gotta take off any clothes or nothing. You just, you know what I mean?
Right. Like at the mall.
Yeah. $15, 15 minutes. You
Right,
can make
$1 a minute, that's what
you
they
can make. It'll probably average out to about $30 an hour if you stay busy.
Yeah.
You know, in between cleanups, you know, what I mean, cost of the material. That's
Right.
pretty good. I'd like $30 an hour.
Yeah. You could do that at the flea market. Like a big, nice flea market.
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder if anybody does. I don't know. It's just an idea. You need to hire a little group of people that does.
Well,
that.
they're training a lot of massage therapists now. It's getting to be a bit. Man, we're gonna have to end this at some point.
Well, it's all right. We can go till 12 if we need to. But
You can do just about. You can go anywhere, and somebody's going to need a massage therapist. You know what I mean? It's if you're at a desk job, you're sitting using your wrists all day. You can use a massage therapist, or if you're working out in a field, you know what I mean, doing back breaking work, you can use a massage therapist. It's great. If you just have a stressful job, you can use a massage therapist. So
Right.
they're training a lot of them. They're going to be. People are
it's
coming.
taking over.
Well, it's not taking over. It's coming back. You know, what I mean, it's the oldest form of medicine. Anytime anything hurts, you rub it. You know what I mean? If your tooth hurts, you rub it. If your leg hurts, you rub it. They've been
And
cavemen were doing it.
Speaking of this, if you need a good massage, you can go see licensed massage therapist Tony Deke Deacon. Or wait, my bad, my
Deke
Deke Anthony Deacon. And I don't know why I keep saying the Tony thing, but Deke Deacon.
There you go.
I want to give you 3 names.
Or his deekness. If you're not
Yeah,
the
yes.
whole
You
brevity.
can go see his Deaconess at Looks Unlimited
The whole brevity
on
thing.
Bridge Street in Chillicothe, Ohio. Might be a number. Look it up.
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm horrible. I
Look it
should
up.
write all this down, but
And but go relieve your stress, man. Get a massage. Is there certain set prices, or do you
yeah, 60 an hour.
dollar a
40
minute?
45 for 45 minutes, and then 35 for a half hour.
Right,
Sometimes we do sales, you know what I mean, just like any other business.
right. And that's whatever massage. Like if you're like, oh, my shoulders hurt, and you're gonna get my shoulder worked out.
You guys have like a couple massages.
Man, unfortunately, we don't offer that, but we've been asked several times. And you know, if my boss wants to update sometime, you know, it'd be something that she could maybe squeeze in there.
Right. I've had one done like that before.
It's a pretty big thing. We just don't have a room that's big enough because they have it broke down in such small rooms. There's no one room.
Right.
Like a
you know.
tanning bed place,
About this-
maybe.
it is about the size of a tanning bedroom. And that's the beauty of being a massage therapist. I don't need a huge office to. If I had this room right here, just these 2 rooms, I could have 5 different rooms. I could have
Right.
5 people could be working out of this place and still have maybe 4 because you still got to have facilities. I don't even need a big office.
Can you hire 5 people? I can
Not
build
in this
partition
area.
walls. Oh, we'll just hire Toby. Well, it's not it's
Where are
interior.
you gonna fit them? You're gonna have all your crowd out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's either blue walls or a massage shop without happy endings, right? No, my place could have the happy endings.
Well, I can't work for you then.
Well, that's why you're gonna just send other people.
I
just
couldn't send anyone.
You're the ringleader. You're the ringleader.
No way.
No.
I don't
That's
wanna be a
illegal.
ring- That is totally illegal.
We were talking about that the other day about
Yeah.
people calling in and how they, like, do you guys offer special massages or, how do you recognize that people trying to find out if you have happy endings?
I had a
Like,
buddy
does
I got a buddy in the Navy, and he was in Japan for about 6 or 7 years, and he said, "You don't ever ask for it. You wait till it's offered."
it.
And and that's how he said it.
You like your balls rubbed?
So it must be, maybe it's a common thing in certain. I don't like.
It's always the Asian massage places. It seems like.
But honestly, if it's a seedy place, then yeah, they
Not to
probably.
be racist.
If it's a seedy place, they probably are. I mean, not to be racist, any seedy place in the world, they're going to be doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah. The place I work is quality. You know.
Yeah, I think they do have them places in Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guarantee it. Places
Like
everywhere
in
in the world.
Warren and Youngstown.
And
In you can look in the sports page in papers and stuff, and then you look in the back of the sports page, and they'll have Kim's Garden or
Wink.
you know,
right. When I was in Chicago, I saw in the phone book, same kind of stuff. There's stuff you could tell,
They train you how to look to see, like people will call you and ask you ridiculous questions. So in school, they train you how to look for that and avoid it. They'll be like, "Hey, I'm from Cincinnati. I was just going to drive to Chillicothe for a massage. Do you offer anything special, or do you offer anything extra?
Yeah.
Do I have to wear underwear?" You know what I mean? They'll ask things like that. Like, yeah.
And
of
would
course
they
you
be
do.
asking you? A dude would ask you.
Anyone that would call?
Have you ever been asked like that from a dude?
No. See, no, from anyone. I work in a pretty.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not going to go
You
here.
know when you're going,
Yeah.
what kind of place
Right,
you're
Right,
going.
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
You'll feel the vibe.
when the madam slides the slide over,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know you're probably in the right place.
right.
Exactly. And that's how that's why the people call, and you'll have them awkward phone calls like, "No, man, you can't do that," or "No, we don't offer that."
So then, while reliable home improvements, right?
Yes.
Reliable home
Exterior home
Exterior.
improvements.
reliable exterior home improvements is improving your home, and you want to be out away from all the noise and racket while they're getting your shit done. You're gonna go get a massage from Deke Deacon, licensed massage therapist at Looks Unlimited. And since you had your kids with you while you were gonna get that massage, you're gonna go drop them off at Youth Warriors at Chillicothe Academy of Mixed Martial Arts, and you're gonna go home to a nice, new looking, beautiful home, feeling great from your massage, and your kids are gonna be
Wore out.
wore out,
great.
relaxed,
Go to sleep.
and they're gonna sleep good, and that's what you're gonna do.
Man, that sounds good.
It's a
There
good
we go.
show, man.
See, I told you we were professionals. You said it.
Professionals.
Just chill.
I guess we are.
If it recorded tonight, we don't know. I mean, it was
No, it
feeding
says we're
through.
live. We had some commenters, so I know somebody was seeing something.
Something was happening. So, all right. Thank you, Toby Bouska,
Yes,
for coming in and
Had a
talking
good
with us.
time, man. Thank you.
Yes,
It was fun.
Deke Deacon and myself, Jeremy Kitts, Blue Wall Podcast.
Listen up.
Listen up. He's got you.
Tuesday at 9:30, correct?
Yes.
Tuesday at 9:30. We don't have nothing specific going on right now, but